Acts chapter 13, verses 50 to 51, tells of an incident where the Jews incited the devout women of high standing and the leading men of the city, stirred a persecution against Paul and Barnabas, and drove them out of their district. But they shook off the dust from their feet against them and went to Iconium. The last part is so important because the brothers Paul and Barnabas, they had something really important to tell people. You have to understand that at that point those brothers, they were considered deities. Now, if a deity is doing miracles like healing the sick and telling people how to get on the right path and to give them salvation, and as a consequence provide them with eternal life, but still the Jews managed to stir up the people of the city against them, who drove them out. And at last, what they did was they shook off the dust from their feet and went to Iconium. So this means that they went away from the place where they knew that they were being disrespected, and what they had to say was not being considered seriously, even though it they had the physical and verbal evidence to prove that what they were doing is absolutely correct, because healing the sick in an instant or healing the crippled in an instant is not that a normal human being could do, even though they had the humility to accept that they were just people. But I don't think that I've ever met anyone who could just say to a crippled person who's in his wheelchair and tell him to stand up and start walking. It's not, I haven't seen it. So what they did was they shook off the dust from their feet and they walked. They just went to another place where they hoped that people would listen to them. And that is something that all of us could practice in real life, right? And if you think that what you are doing is correct and it has worked out for you, doesn't mean that it has to work out for the other person, but it would generally work for everyone. And if people are not listening to you and trying to put you down, it's better to shake the dust off your feet and walk to another place and tell it to people who are actually looking for the answer and trying not to waste your time. In this way, you maintain your dignity, your self respect, and people who want to be helped, they can be helped.